All praises to Yahawah, Yahweh Basham Makar double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect to the nation of Israel. And what I'm going to talk about in this lesson is how, as time goes on more and more, people are going to realize everything that the apostles of Great Millstone have been teaching for these last three to 4 decades is true, man. And plus, not even only them, but the things that their teachers were teaching decades before them, right? The world's going to realize that the things that they were saying were true, man. And I'm going to read this scripture. This is Isaiah chapter 6 and verse 9. And he said, "Go and tell this people, hear ye indeed, but understand not, and see ye indeed, but perceive not. Make the heart of this people fat, and make their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their hearts, and convert and be healed. Then said I, Lord, how long? And he answered, until the cities be wasted without inhabitant, and the houses without man, and the land be utterly desolate." So eventually everyone's going to realize that these things have been true, right? But it's going to take a while for certain people to receive these things, man. Right? Like, you had a particular scoffer at one point that had a problem with the laws in the Bible that concern RAPE, right? He had a problem with the laws that concern that and was scoffing at that, right? But then a decade later, he said, "Oh, I understand it." But now he's scoffing about something completely different. But in as time passes by, he's gonna realize that those things were true as well. But that guy's too proud to realize that, oh, I couldn't get that back then, but I understand it now. So maybe I'm gonna understand this, right? But I'm gonna read this particular scripture anyway, where it says, then shall they realize that a prophet have been among them. Here we go. This is Ezekiel chapter 2 and verse 5. And they, whether they will hear or whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are a rebellious house, yet shall know that there have been a prophet among them. So when all hell breaks loose, the Israelites are gonna realize that there's been prophets among them that have been telling them things, whereas as it stands right now, they can't hear these things, man. Right? But when the lockdown came, people was trying to hear the word more, and there was getting more views on Hebrew Israelite YouTube channels, right? And there was also being more people that was outside Hebrew Israelite camps as well, right? But then also, I remember one particular brother that he lives in Hawaii, I believe, and there was a time where there was a false a missile scare, right? Where people thought that the place was going to be nuked, and he had like 50,000 people that was watching his videos. He watched his video, either was watching it live or was watching it, or ended up watching it in general. And he was just sitting on the front of his house, chilling, reading the scriptures, man, with no fear in him at all. I have to say it like that, man. He didn't have no fear at all, man. But other people that was on their live streams at that same time, there was one Asian woman and she was screaming, man. She ran up to her boyfriend, "Babe, there's a strike, there's a nuclear threat and all of that." And he didn't know what to do, right? Which really, if that situation is real, there ain't nothing that you can do. But he didn't know what to do, but she was terrified, man. She was terrified and expected him to just magically become a superhero all of a sudden. But prior to that event, she was proud on her stream, talking about hair or whatever she was talking about, man. Which shows that people ultimately know that there's chaos because they know where to find these things. They know where to find the truth, because how did people just know about that brother's YouTube channel? That means they came across it before. But when things was smooth and running nice, they didn't want to accept it. But then when things got bad, all of a sudden they wanted to try and hear that, man. They wanted to try and hear about the Lord all of a sudden. Then their ears became soft to try and hear about the name of the Lord then, and to try and hear about things. And that's how people are right now, man. But as time goes more and more, people are not going to be able to deny these things, man. As freedom of speech starts getting taken away more and more, as more and more people start getting cancelled to the point where you can't say anything you want to say, right? To the point where they start pushing it to where it's damn near almost thought crimes. People are going to realize that what Hebrew Israelites have been saying is true. And they're going to be seeking after Hebrew Israelites to try and hear what they've got to say. And there ain't going to be none there. There ain't going to be none present, man. Amos chapter 8 and verse 11. Behold, the days come, saith Yahawah, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread nor thirst for water, but of hearing the words of Yahawah. And they shall wander from sea to sea, from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of Yahawah, and shall not find it. Right? Now, I just got to say this, man. All of these red pill channels, right? They get tons of views, man. They get tons of views, right? And back when the apostles had their main channels up on the YouTube, right? You're trying to tell me that them channels didn't used to get views on that? You're trying to tell me that none of them, that no Hebrew Israelite video has been able to get and garnish 1 million views. You're trying to tell me that there's none. You will not find one on the internet, man. You will struggle to, and if you do, show me. Put the link, because I've yet to see one Hebrew Israelite video with 1 million views on there. But when you listen to the things that are being spoken of in them videos, right? Where do you think these red pill community guys got a lot of the stuff that they're saying from? All the red pill stuff that they say regarding women, they got that from the Bible. The Bible's been saying that, right? And they've heard the Hebrew Israelites talk about it, man. They've definitely heard the apostles of Great Millstone say the things that they say about women. And if they haven't directly heard it, then the people that they listen to get the things that they're saying have heard it. Because everyone's heard about this message, man. This message has gone out to the world for people to hear it. But as time goes on more and more, people are going to realize that everything that the Hebrew Israelites have been saying is true. Both the earthly things that they've spoken of that are believable, but yet people didn't want to believe them because of who they was coming from. But then they're also going to believe that the heavenly things was real because they're going to see them. And at that point, it's going to be too late for them to have faith, because they're not going to need faith in that time, because they're going to have seen it. But that means they're not going to receive the salvation because they didn't have faith when they couldn't see it, man. And I'm going to end the lesson there. As time goes on more and more, everyone's going to realize that what the Israelites have been saying is true. All praises to Yahawah, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect to the nation of Israel. Shalom.